We thought that we'd found all of the notes, all of the little Easter egg quests that were hidden in DMZ. We were kind of done looking, to be honest, but then Zerno on my Discord made it his personal quest to use every key to go in every location, and he found something that, to be honest, was pretty shocking. These notes vanish after 3 minutes. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, let me just go back a little bit. In Warzone 1, there was Intel, and it was awesome. Loads of people loved it. Loads of people in my community really enjoyed it. Every couple of weeks, across a few months, we would have some little missions to go in and try and find like a hidden item or something like that, and it would give us a little bit of lore about Verdansk. And that was awesome, and people have wanted it back for ages. Then with Warzone 2 and DMZ, we got exactly that. We haven't got the menu where we can keep track of Intel, but there are these little hidden notes dotted around that seem to kind of tell us the story of either locations or maybe some of the characters in the game. And they're really cool, and some of them seem to point to Easter eggs, like the golden skull one, which a lot of you found my channel with. That was really cool, but we thought we were mostly done. Then Zerno on my Discord started just trying to use all of the keys, and he found if he gets to some locations with under 3 minutes on the clock, then there's notes in those locations, there's bits hinting at other places, there's hidden keys and stuff like that, and if he takes longer than 3 minutes, they're gone. And he's actually seen some of these disappear right in front of his eyes. Now, this isn't like 1 or 2 hidden notes or something like that. This is absolutely loads of them. He's found tons of different stories, tons of different bits of information. We found a few other ones where it seems really irregular as to whether we find it in a location or not. And we've sort of tried to follow up some of these stories, but it's kind of tricky. And now we think we know why. It's because there's some kind of glitch deleting these after 3 minutes. Now, this particular kind of glitch in Warzone is not unheard of. On Rebirth Island, when you had to find those free access cards to open up the vaults on the redone version of it, they would disappear after a few minutes, but eventually it got fixed. For the Stadium Easter egg, where you had to find the different access cards to get to the offices to get the codes, those access cards disappeared after about 4 minutes, and I don't think that ever did get fixed. That was just the way it was while that Easter egg was active until the 80s version of the map came out. And it seems like we're suffering through the same thing again, that there are absolutely tons of these notes and associated keys, so sort of chains of things where you'll have to work out what the next location is, or it'll give you a key to a certain location, and you can find out whole stories about them, but they're disappearing after 3 minutes, and this causes some massive problems. Not least of all, some of these start in places like the observatory on the top of Mount Zaya, and that's quite a hard location to get to in under 3 minutes because you nearly always spawn somewhere around the edge. And because you have no control over your spawns, it's not like Warzone where you can choose where to drop in, you're kind of a bit screwed if you need to get to a specific location. You know, you've brought in a key to try and get to that location and you just happen to spawn on the other side of the map. It's making finding these incredibly hard. But in this video, I thought I could show you some of the interesting things that Zerno's found and some of the little fragments of stories we've got so far that go a long way to explaining the lore of DMZ and Warzone. So first of all, and probably the most interesting one, we have some journals that seem to be from the Chemist. So the Chemist is the NPC that spawns in the middle of the radiation circle. He carries that special M13 where if you loot it, you unlock the M13 in other modes. So I'm willing to bet most people who have played DMZ have probably encountered him at some point. And his story is scattered around the map in these journals. So the first one of these is found in the South Zaya Scientist Department, which makes sense, you know, the Chemist is a scientist after all, and it says, meticulously written journal, entry 1, they do not understand me, they do not understand what this can do. They think this is a game, but it is not. I'm so close to understanding how it expands, how it spreads. I'm going to ask for formal authorization to run my experiments. My inquiry was rejected. I need to take matters into my own hands. I'm recruiting a group to help me. We will go into the radiation ourselves. I need to run some more tests in the old lab to make sure we're on the right track. Then there's entry 5 that just says code 1921 BRN plus 7SLN9. Make sure to wait 10 seconds. So there's a few things that are interesting in this. First of all, this is clearly the Chemist, I think, because he talks about the thing expanding, which is probably the radiation zone. And then it talks about recruiting a group to help him and go into the radiation themselves. We know that that's what he does because you can find the Chemist in with his group in there. And then at the end, we've got these really interesting codes, 1921 BRN and 7SLN9. This isn't the first time we've seen codes like this. The Spec Ops Dead Drop has a similar looking code. I'm not sure if there's going to be somewhere in game where we can enter these, or maybe there'll be some sort of external website, maybe there already is and we just haven't found it yet, where we can put these codes in. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe they're just like a little bit of interesting text on these documents. Personally, I think these codes are going to be used for something. We've got 3 of them now, so we've got this one from the chemist, we've got one from the Spec Ops Dead Drops thing, and then we've got one from Samum's story where he changes the access codes somewhere in Rohan Oil. So I think we are going to be able to use these codes at some point. Hopefully, I'm really hoping it's some sort of ARG website type thing, and then we'll be able to put all of those in there. Anyway, we have another entry from the chemist, and this might not be the second one, this might have skipped one, so this could be entry 3 or 4, but this one says meticulously written journal, entry 10, ambient air here is perfect for this test today, administering microdose again. Lack of available test subject is troubling, need to consider other options. Entry 11, I have decided to administer the microdose to myself. Exposure via microdose is perfect for this, I may even be able to build up a temporary immunity. Further experiments are required. So this could be the last entry on this, or it could be the second one. We've got absolutely no idea because we haven't found any others for the chemist. If you find something linked to this, you've got another meticulously written journal from somewhere, this one was in Zyra Observatory, by the way, this was in the main dome bit, I think, then please let me know in the comments and we can maybe piece together this story. But like I said, there's a bunch of these, so here's another one that Zernaut found. This is in Malazan Marshlands, and it says journal entry, subject Western fighter, condition weakened from many hours of interrogation, notes keep pressing him for information about Western forces arriving at the war zone. We'll need to move him soon. So this one comes with a key, but I haven't actually found out from Zernaut which key that was. Sometimes the keys are random and it's just like a different key every time. Sometimes it's a specific one which takes you to another location. That note doesn't really help us that much in learning like who this is talking about or where it's going to be leading us to next. This one in Tarak Smuggler's office says logbook. First meeting with the new seller went as well as can be expected. I think they can provide us what we want, but I'm still not sure this arrangement doesn't come without problems. We've discussed the use of the north runway for deliveries. It would attract less attention until we fully control the airport. They're very familiar with small plane deliveries of sensitive cargo. We should move forward with a more formal meeting with the elders. Code 7981. So here we've got another code, and this is talking about the north runway. There's like a little desert runway near the kind of Rohan oil fields area. So here we've got another code, and it's actually talking about a specific location. Maybe this is something where you just find a weapon stash or something like that. But again, super interesting that these things are scattered all over the game. Then this one was found in the police sort of server building, which is also a great place to find encrypted hard drives if you're on that mission. And this one says, official note, Chief, we've locked up as many weapons as we could find in the main locker room. I have the key, but I know it's not the only one. Some of the officers have standard issue keys to the room. I've locked each locker as well. Let's hope these weapons don't fall into the wrong hands, Officer K. So there is a locker room in that building that you can open up. I haven't found anything special in there. I mean, you do get weapons and stuff in there. So this one could be like an example of one that doesn't have a chain attached to it. It's more just, hey, by the way, there's another locked room in this building. Maybe. Like, I'm not really sure. Again, if you've got any theories, let me know in the comments. So this video is getting a little bit long. We do have a few more of these different ones that I could show you. So if you want to see more of these, let me know in the comments, like this video, subscribe, turn your notifications on. And once we've managed to piece together a few of them into like complete stories, I'll make a few more videos just explaining everything we found. But I hope you found this interesting. If you did, make sure you leave a like and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.